Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games, and welcome back to my Aegon the Conqueror campaign here in Crusader Kings 2: A Game of Thrones. So, let's first talk about the war in Dorne, so you guys can kind of understand why it was so difficult, for why I'm a little bit nervous about trying to take Dorne. So, what happened is after Aegon had taken all the other kingdoms, and I think I told you the story about Rhaenys going and speaking with Princess Miriam. She said, okay, we're just going to come back and fire and blood and all that. So the war against Dorne began. And there were three pronged attacks. Number one was Rhaenys came down here and she went to Plague Town, which is like the biggest city in Dorne. It's the mouth of the river. It's where all the trade goes through and such. She just burns it all. Then Aegon and Visenya comes straight down here through the Prince's Pass. And then Orys Baratheon, who remember is in charge of the Stormlands at this point, he ends up coming this way to Weil and through to Ironwood. So all three of these end up having their own problems. So first off, the Dorne were just abandoning everything, like before. They were putting up a lot of resistance in the Prince's Pass, but there was a lot of ambush and guerrilla tactics that was going on. So the Dornish would pop out, they'd fight the Targaryen army, the dragons would go up, they'd run back into the hills, essentially, and just repeat. Also, Harlan Tyrell, who was the new guy in charge of the Reach, incidentally, he should be around here somewhere. Florent. Would he be a vassal? He's somewhere here, unless he died. I might have killed him when I attacked Highgarden, but he was the steward of Highgarden, and so Aegon made him the one in charge, which of course pissed off a lot of people in the Reach who said that they had the rightful claims. Anyway, so they were heading down here and having a whole lot of trouble. They were trying to make their way over here to Hellhot, and so they had to cross the desert in order to do that. A lot of men died of heat exhaustion and thirst. And by the time they even got to Hellhot, there was nobody there. So then they tried to besiege I believe this is pronounced Ironwood, which was just defended by some old men and young boys and also women. It wasn't actually a real army there. And Orys Baratheon had been having trouble coming down through here as well. So then they went to, where is it? Over here, yeah. Eventually, they kept making their way east, and they got to Ghost Hill. Now, this is a funny story, where they thought they were gonna fight the Lord here, who I don't know if it was actually this guy or if it was his kid. I guess it doesn't really matter. No, I think it was this one. Yeah. So he challenges, this guy says, "I'm going to fight you in one-on-one combat, Aegon." And so Aegon didn't really have to do it, but he said, sure, I'll fight you. And so he kills him very easily. Turns out that it wasn't him. It was the jester, the fool. He was like an insane person. And there was nobody else actually in Ghost Hill. So Aegon's taking land, but that's about all that he's taking. And then Orys Baratheon, because Orys didn't have the support of a dragon, he was having a lot of trouble, and the Dornish would, sneak into the camp at night and kill people and do things like that. And then eventually, they managed to get in behind him, and so they surrounded the army and took Orys Baratheon and all of his army captive. But eventually, Aegon, he gets the Sunspear. Nobody knows where the princess is, and they declare victory and go home. And they leave in charge, he leaves somebody in charge of Sunspear, and he also tells the Tyrell guy who he leaves in Hellholt, he's like, you need to put down any rebellions that happen while I'm away. So, no sooner does Aegon and Rhaenys get back than the Dornish just rise up in rebellion again. So they take back their castles and stuff like that. And then the Tyrell guy in Hellholt, he marches his army out into the desert to put down the rebellions, and it just promptly disappears. Nobody knows what happened to it. so like the Dornish start killing all the garrisons that were there, and they're not just killing them, they're torturing, they're mutilating, they're throwing people off of towers, they're really making an example of these people. And then at one point, the Lord Will here, this guy, he's a stone Dornish, that's why he's lighter skinned than, like, you know, the salt Dornish over here. But anyway, he says at one point to Aegon, tell you what, I know I've got your brother, I know I've got his army, give me a bunch of gold, and I'll give him back to you. And so Aegon pays the gold, because he wants to get his brother back, and then they march the prisoners back, but all of them have had an arm chopped off, so that the way they can't, you know, rebel, well, they can't attack Dorne again, because, you know, they don't have an arm to fight with. So then Aegon just starts him and his sisters just start zigzagging all over the place, attacking every castle they can. But meanwhile, the Dornish, they're like, you know, they're coming over here and they're attacking the Rainwood. The freaking Danes, I think, attack. Did they get to Old Town? But yeah, they attack in this direction. And at the end of the day, even if you have dragons, they've only got 3 dragons. They can't be everywhere at once. And eventually, Rhaenys and Meraxes are killed. Which I forget which house it is, but I think that the house changes their sigil because they managed to kill a dragon, but they get hit with a scorpion, which just makes Aegon every single you know, castle. He's just like, I don't care if it's abandoned or not, I'm going to go in and I'm going to destroy it. Although he never attacks Sunspear and Planktown again, and I don't think it's ever been explained why he did that. The two theory, it's one of those things where there's multiple theories given. The first one being that there was rumors that, like, she had a secret dragon killing weapon, so he didn't want to risk it. But that there's other people who are saying, like, okay, we've got to win the hearts and minds. So here's how we're going to win the hearts and minds. We're going to kill all the Dornish except for the Martells, so they'll turn on the Martells. Didn't work. Like, you know, and then there was like this kind of like secret espionage war where people were placing bounties on each other. Like, people would place bounties on the Targaryens and people would place bounties on the Dornish lords. You know, everybody's trying to like get somebody to squeal and say what's going on. It's not going well because, you know, Aegon is sometimes still going back to King's Landing, and at one point while he's in King's Landing, he's almost killed, he's almost assassinated, and that's what leads to the founding of the Kingsguard. So this is just not working. So the way the war eventually ends is Miria dies, and then her son Nymor takes over, and he sends an envoy of peace, and he like gives the what's it called, the skull of Meraxes back to Aegon as like a peace offering. And then, but there's also a letter, and then Aegon reads the letter, and it clearly disturbed him, and so then he leaves the capital, he flies up to Dragonstone, he flies back, and he then says, okay, we're going to do a peace treaty. And so that's basically the end of the attempted conquest. Yeah, there's going to be conquests later, like some of the just other Targaryens will try to take over Dorne, but then Dorne basically remains independent until they end up entering the kingdom via marriage. Now, what was in the letter? I've heard a few different theories. I've heard things that say, like, it turns out Rhaenys didn't die, that they had her captured, and there was like some sort of proof in there, and they said, like, you know, if you don't stop attacking us, we're going to kill her, or something. But I don't think so, and here's why. He doesn't do anything right away. He actually first flies to Dragonstone, and then he comes back. So, what I think happened is because him and Rhaenys they'd already had children, or 8 children. Yeah, they had at least... how many kids did they have? Yeah, they had Aenys already. Did they have another son? They had at least one kid together, and the kid was at Dragonstone. So the kid's all that remains of Rhaenys, who Aegon loved more, right? So what I think happened is they probably said, if you don't stop, we're going to kill your kid. And as proof, we've done something like, I don't know, it might have been something like, look under his bed, or there's a hole in the wall, or like there's a secret entrance into his bedroom, and like we left something there, like, you know, something as proof, like we had somebody in the room with your son, and we will kill him if we want to, if you don't stop. That's my theory. We're probably never going to know, but just throwing that out there. So hopefully this is gonna go better for us. I don't know if there's events where like we technically defeat Dorne, but not really. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go right for Sunspear, and we're just gonna kind of hope that we can defeat them. Am I clicking the wrong button? Where are my ships? There's one. Okay, we need a couple more boats. What is going on here? Ships, 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 ships. Okay, what the F? Where are my naval levies? What is going on here? Fleet levy. Where are they? There's like 9 down here. That's it? Whatever. Okay. We are over our vassal limit. That's a problem. We'll fix it later. You know what? Let's just fix it now. We're going to create the Kingdom of the Stormland. Wait, what's the other title I could create? Kingdom of the Trident as well. Ah. Ooh. Okay, this is... It's not going to cost me any gold. Oh, if it's free then, let's do that. I probably should give this to like a Valerian or something. You know what? Let's give this... Can I... Let's give this to, who do I want to give it to? Oh, I just noticed my, my siblings also changed to Faith of the Seven automatically. That's good. That's a good mechanic that they put in there. So... What can I say, guys? I just love the Blackwoods too much. They will get the Kingdom of the Trident. It's all theirs! You did it, Mathis! And you didn't have to lift a finger. You just had to be an awesome guy. And let's also make the Kingdom of the Stormlands. We'll go ahead and give that to my brother. Oh, I have to give him the Lordship of Storms in first. Yeah, so he has some land, and then you get everything else as well. What is this? It's like a black hand over a fiery wreath? Or is that supposed to be the antlers? Wow, that is some... That is something. I think it's because that's, I guess, the Lordship of Shipbreaker Bay thing. But that's how you get your vassal count down real quick. What's going on here? Get on the boat! 31st of the first moon, year 8000. The Faith of the Seven rebels have riven up in Erenford. It's against Paramount Mathis. Be careful, it could spread like wildfire. Oh my gosh, they got over almost 16,000 men. Incredible. Yeah, this guy loves me now, even if I subjugated him. As he should. As he should. Of course, he's still actual house. Yeah, the Blackwood Vale is the ones in charge. Nice. Okay, just wanted to be sure of that. Okay. We're going to land in... What's Spotswood? Spotswood is forest. Okay. That's where we actually want to go first. Hey, there's the king. There's the arbor. I need to give him something nice. Could just send him a gift, just send him money, but wish I could do more. I'll try to remember to once everything's united again. All right, we got to be really careful. You know what? Does it say? You put the dragon as list. The land is born. People will dislike you. I wish I could see... Okay, actually, if I can't deploy here, it'll let me know. The High Septon has declared an anathema upon your enemy, Prince Miriam Martell, for her supposed sins, excommunicating her from the faith. Good work. Good work. The joys of converting. Okay, deploy the dragon. I apparently can do that. Okay, so I guess it's in mountains I'm not able to? I thought in deserts I couldn't. You know what? I think it might be that in deserts they're just, are less effective or something. Command to end war. Send a letter to Septon Adam commanding them to end a war of aggression against another of your bannermen. Oh, yeah, do that. I will obey your will and end the war as commanded. Please take this as a sign of my continued loyalty. You're damn right. That was my chosen guy. Don't be fighting him. Now, time to burn Sunspear to the ground. Oh, that's right. We're still plotting to kill Harlan the Black. Oh, well. Screw him. Dracarys. Alright, we rounded up everybody. Imprison the entire family, please. And that is that. Okay. I think the war is over. The New Kingdom. The conquest is complete. I have taken the swords of 1,000 defeated foes and forged a great throne with them using the dragon breath of Balerion the Black Dread. It is a mighty throne, one which my followers are already calling the Iron Throne. But where shall it be placed? In the great city of Old Town? At Dragonstone? Or maybe a great new seat for the Dragon Kings? So I think like it's actually kind of preferred to make it Dragonstone because then you have the Dragon Moot there. Dragonmont. Also costs the least amount of gold. But if we do the Aegon fort, it's gonna yeah, I think Blackwater Bay, like all of this instantly gets filled. So the royal domain of the Crown Land should be made up of Dragonstone. Castle of Oakmere will change its name to the Red Keep. We get the Castle of Oakmere. The royal domain of the Crown Lands shall be made up of Old Town. That's interesting. So I have them both. So I have like a personal domain here and here. That's very strange. We'll have it be Dragonstone though. Your feat of conquering the 7 kingdoms of the Iron Throne means the bloodline of House Targaryen is now highly respected by the defeated peoples of your new domain. House Targaryen is now considered a traditional great house of the region, Fire and Blood. We're going to gain traditional dynastic claim on the 7 kingdoms of the Iron Throne. Bloodline gains a traditional dynastic claim on the High Lordship of Dragonstone. So I don't know if that gives me a new one. It just, yeah, it just modifies the existing bloodline. The wars have ended. So yeah, let's reappoint our old council members. Why is Old Town not belonging to me? Am I missing something here? Okay, somebody took out... Gerald Hightower took out a loan without consulting me. Art of War might be well worth studying. We're now adept at strategy. Okay, I think that's it, except I don't understand why Old Town and Tarth are still independent. Very strange. I don't get it. Is there a way for me to tell them to end the war? Or... Okay, so we're having a parade. Okay, yeah, it's kind of an anticlimactic thing. So there's some civil wars going on internally, but besides that, I think we are done. We can establish a Kingsguard, bring me the greatest knights in all the realm. Joffrey Dane, sure. So he's our initial Lord Commander. Very cool. Oh, he doesn't have the, but he doesn't own the sword. Who does? It's his brother? Yeah, the ancestral sword. Call the court out of hiding. We can go on a tour now. I guess let's do that. Make a royal progress of the realm. I want to see all the world has to offer. I want a huge entourage of lords and knights. We're just gonna, it's our victory parade, basically. Visenya is our regent. Well, you know what? I think that's really it. Corlys Valeron must be a different Corlys. Unless... Yeah. This guy was the actual first ever Lord Commander. No relation to the other Corlys Valeron that much more famous later, the Sea Snake. Yeah. Okay. But you know what? I think that's enough. Yeah, we won. We did the conquest. It was quick. You know, we had dragons, but it was a little thing to do. Just a little thing to do. So I'm conquering history games. I might do one more non-fantasy CK2 campaign, something else short like this, and then we'll get back to the Outremer campaign. So what I probably will do in the meantime, because I think I do have the first like 25 episodes recorded already, is I might get re-uploading those in the meantime, and so If I haven't done that already, somebody please comment and remind me to start doing that. So then by the time it catches up to episode 25, I'll have already had new things there, or ready to go. So it'll just go from 25 to 26 smoothly. I'll see you next time. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already.